Good afternoon. It's great to see such a nice turnout here this afternoon, early evening. My name is Peter Stanton, and I am the publisher of the Worcester Business Journal. And it's my pleasure to welcome you here for this wonderful honoring of several outstanding family businesses from throughout central Massachusetts. This is the third year we've done this event, and after that first year, all of us involved, including our sponsors, we looked at each other and said, what a great way to recognize some fabulous firms. We should have been doing this years ago. And so I don't want to set your expectations too high, but I think it'll be a very enjoyable next hour as we get a closer look at these outstanding family businesses who are such an important part of the fabric here in Central Mass and some of their accomplishments. I want to acknowledge the role of our sponsors in helping to make this event a reality. Our presenting sponsor is Bank of America, Merril Lynch, and Clark University's Graduate School of Management. Both of those organizations have been behind this event since its inception. And joining us this year as a supporting sponsor is ROCG Shepherd & Goldstein Consulting Group. And as well, again, our media sponsor is WTAG and WSRS. So thanks to all of them for helping to make this event a reality. I hope you enjoy it. I am going to ask our presenting sponsors to come up and make a few remarks. And first will be Matthew Shiely, who's the Vice President and Resident Director of Bank of America's Merrill Lynch Global Wealth Management Group. Matt, you're up.
Thank you, Peter. Welcome, everybody, to the Central Mass Family Business Awards. My name is Matt Shiely. I'm the new resident director at Merrill Lynch. We have a new office in downtown Worcester. Resident director simply means that I have my own practice, and I also manage a group of wealth managers. So, like the title implies, I'm in the office a lot. As you may know, Merrill Lynch is a Bank of America corporation. In May, we opened a new office on the 9th floor at 100 Front Street. That office includes our credit lending, our business banking. That's headed by Ed Shea. Where's Ed? Ed's in here. There he is. We also have a U.S. trust team led by Mike Garand right there. And then there's our global wealth management group at Merrill Lynch. Family businesses are the lifeblood of our company. Each day, our combined firm helps businesses like the ones receiving awards tonight do things like obtain credit, get a loan to expand their business, install a 401k plan, finance the sale of their company from one generation to the next, invest personal wealth. We also help people create legacies for their family and for the community. So this is especially close to my heart. I grew up in a family business. My father led a third-generation family business in the Twin Cities. It was a sand and gravel company called the J.L. Shiely Company. And it's not the Twin Cities, Fitchburg, and Leominster. It's the Minneapolis, St. Paul, for any of those. I became very interested in the financial services industry because I saw the way that we were helped in the 70s and 80s when we needed money to expand our operations. And then later on when we were offered to be purchased by a publicly traded company, and then to help us manage and build portfolios. So this is near and dear to me. This is Bank of America's third year sponsoring the event. We are really proud to be here tonight, and we are especially proud that we are able to serve family businesses. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, Matt. Red Sox fan? Twins fan? Both?
Red Sox.
Red Sox. Okay, thank you. Good answer. Next, I'd like to, one of our longtime partners on this event has been Clark University's Graduate School of Management, and I'd like to invite up Joseph Sarkis, Ph.D., who's the interim dean and a professor at the Graduate School of Clark. Joe.
Thank you, Peter. Good afternoon to everyone, and congratulations to all our award winners who are here today. Let's give them a round of applause initially. I call my little introduction, little talk to you, family, friends, and neighbors. Why? Because this is what Clark has been to Worcester and to you for over 115 years. We will continue to be so, we hope, for at least another 100 years. At Clark and within the Graduate School of Management, your family, friends, and neighbors have been part of our family too. I was speaking to a few of you before this, and we talked about what Clark meant to you and what it meant to your families as well. We wish to reach out to our family, friends, and neighbors in both good and bad times. We do this because we are your family, friends, and neighbors at Clark University. As you know, family, friends, and neighbors are always there to celebrate and to help. I wish to inform all of our friends and neighbors here today that Clark and GSOM is here for you as you have been there for us. GSOM is an internationally recognized school of management. Every year we add some of the best and brightest individuals in the world to our GSOM family. We should all be trying to keep these talented family members in our communities as our friends and neighbors. Family businesses are the heart and soul and the pillars of our community. We need your help to keep our new and talented family members here in the Worcester area. As good family, friends, and neighbors, you share your goods and services with us. We also wish to share what we have with you. We have knowledge which we can offer you. We have the Small Business Development Center, which can help you. We have world-class students who can provide their services through internships and as regular employees. We have world-class instruction and education for you and your employees and your family members. We have all this and more to offer to you and to others as a friend and as a neighbor and also as a family member. As my family says to me, the door is always open for you. I say to you now, our doors are always open for you as well. Come visit us at GSOM. The coffee is on me. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christina Davis. I'm the editor of the Worcester Business Journal. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how we put together this event and the special issue that hopefully many of you saw. And then we're going to get into the awards presentation. So this year, unlike past years, I have a different perspective as I stand here, in case you can't tell, and I'll have to do this. I'm in a family way, as they say. Boy, not many pregnant women get applause. That's pretty exciting. So, so that's naturally gotten me thinking about what family means and why this award program, of all programs that we run at the Worcester Business Journal, is particularly special. And what I've come to realize is that this event and the profiles that we published on June 6th are about more than just business. Sure, everyone in this room goes to work every day to make a profit, but when you're part of a family-owned business, it's so much more than just the bottom line that's at stake. And I know that from the stories we told in this issue, as well as from my father, who owns a business with his brother. When you're in a family business, and I'm preaching to the choir here, it's about maintaining those family connections and bringing up the next generation. And then there's also maintaining the family's legacy, which in some cases for businesses represented here stretches back for generations. So all those layers combine for an extraordinarily complicated dance for family members involved in a business. But they also combine to produce great rewards. And that's what we're here to celebrate today. As it's been mentioned, this is the third year that the Worcester Business Journal has identified and honored outstanding family businesses in central Massachusetts. And in these 3 years, this event has really been a standout on our calendar. I can tell you that we are very excited to bring all these fantastic companies and business leaders together in one room and share their inspirational stories. In total, we received more than 50 applications for this award, which made selecting tonight's honorees a difficult job. To help us in the selection process, we enlisted the assistance of several judges who I would like to acknowledge right now. They are David Dunn of Dunn & Company in Clinton, which is a former family business honoree, Janet Setia of Security Construction Services in Hudson, who is a past Women in Business Award winner, and then Terry Shepard of the Framingham-based accounting firm Shepard & Goldstein. I'd also like to thank Susan Schalhub, Amanda Roberge, and Sarah Rolfe, who wrote the profiles on the winning companies, as well as Ed Cody, our photographer. And finally, thanks to Mark Serra, who created the video profiles that will be part of our award presentation tonight. So, without further ado, I would like to kick off our formal awards presentation and introduce our first honoree. So, just looking at the photos of Pine Acres Family Camping Resort that were included in the Worcester Business Journal kind of makes me want to take a vacation. But of course, for the Packard family, which runs the Oakham-based resort, their job is anything but a vacation. They have to work very hard to make things easy on their guests. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from the team at Pine Acres in a short video clip.
We've taken Pine Acres from what we call a mom and pop operation, which was my mother and father started, and it was merely a small run operation with a few summer staff members, to a large 5-star rated resort which has all the amenities: pools, water park, full service restaurants, cafe, Wi-Fi, cable TV. And we've been receiving high marks for that all over the country, and we're very well known in the industry.
Of course, it's a different generation now. When I first started, there was mostly just tents, and sometimes the little tent trailers came in. But now with the camping business completely different, with these great big RVs, motorhomes, and fifth wheels, it's a different way of operating a campground. You have to have a bigger site, you have to have more to offer for them, like electric and water, cable TV. But he's learned over the years, and he's grown with the business, and he's right on top of it all. Greet people with a smile and make them feel at home. When they drive at our gate, each and every one of them we treat as a real good customer and a friendly person. And we have a nice clean operation here and a good staff that meets the people and makes a good presentation to the public. And we find that has paid off in the past, so we have a good reputation.
I learned a lot from my dad. I learned that hard work does pay off. If you want to have a successful business, you have to give back to the business, you have to reinvest in the business, and you have to be willing to make sacrifices because of the business. He taught me to be honest, he taught me to respect nature and also to contribute back to the local community, and that's what I've always tried to do here.
You know, they've really taught me everything that I know, but really it's all about hard work. I mean, every day they taught me that it's important to wake up, to love what you do, and to work hard to accomplish things in your life. And so that's what I try and do. It's not an expectation. I love what my parents did. It's a family rule. You go out, you are employed somewhere else, and you find out what you love, find out what you're passionate about before you come back. And then if you do decide to come back, then you bring something different to the table.
My daughter Tessa has already joined the company as our controller. She came from the corporate world as a CPA. My son Corey, who's a civil engineer, has come in and out of the property over the years, assisting us on projects. He's assisting us on our dam project presently. And my young daughter Jacqueline, she's got some schooling to finish. She just graduated and now she's going on to law school. but she's the buyer for the company and does all the buying for all our sales in the store. Challenges of family business are tough. There's no getting around it. We all have our own mindsets, our personalities, and especially some of us are more strong-willed than others, and my dad is a very strong-willed gentleman, and he built the place from scratch, and he wanted to make sure that I know he built it from scratch, and I had to prove myself. And you know, you hear the statistic that the second generation loses the business and how that goes down in percentages and so forth. And so I had to prove myself to him, and I know he's proud of what I've done, and my wife and the family have done to keep this business in the family.
Certainly it's a great thing that the business has succeeded to the second generation, and you know, there's a lot of second generation businesses that don't make it, and certainly statistically it's even worse for the third generation. So there's a lot of pressure, but you know, I've learned from the best, and all I can do is go forward one day at a time.
And with that, I am pleased to present the 2011 Central Massachusetts Family Business Award to Pine Acres Family Camping Resort. Accepting the award on behalf of the company are Randy Packard, Tessa Packard, and Jacqueline Packard.
I had all kinds of things I was going to say, but actually after watching the video, I'm not going to say a whole lot, because I think that says a lot about our family and what we're trying to do as a family. I'm thrilled that my dad is here with us. He's 87, going to be 87 in September. He was able to make it. We didn't want to make him come up on stage, but he'd speak if he had the chance. So thank you, Dad. We appreciate for what you've done for us. Without my staff and without the rest of my family, we wouldn't be here. My wife Denise, Ben, my son-in-law, Steve, my main man, and my sister Sue, and my brother-in-law Ronnie, they're here supporting us. We appreciate that. Thank you. And to the lovely third generation that's here with us tonight, Jacqueline and Tessa. Jacqueline, you want to say a word? If not, we're done.
I guess I would just like to mention that if it wasn't for our guests who come year after year, we love them as much as they love us. We wouldn't be able to be here today. And I hope in the future my siblings and I will be able to cater to those guests and continue the tradition that our family has worked so hard to bring to this point. Thank you.
To a good start. Wasn't I right about the pictures though? Definitely want to go on vacation now. Okay. Next up we have ET&L Corporation. Now the story of the 65-year-old ET&L Corporation is a story of diversification. The company has evolved over time and 2 generations of Colosi leadership, from a residential and commercial landscaper to a full-service construction firm working on road and bridge projects as well as environmental cleanup. The one consistent factor has been the focus on the family as well as the well-being of their employees. Let's watch the video clip to learn a little bit more about ET&L.
Then in the 80s, late 80s, Dad retired, and I took over the position as president. Since then, we've been constructing landfills. We've been doing airport runways and taxiways. We started building bridges in the late 70s, and here we are today as ET&L Corp. Right now, my father, Anthony, is 91 years old, so of course he is retired. Gary Balboni, my husband, is one of our vice presidents. Jay Balboni, Gary's brother, is one of the general superintendents. And Francesca Balboni, our daughter, is working in the administration of the company right now.
My parents always brought work home with them. In fact, we spent, me and my sister, most of our childhood traipsing around landfills on the weekends, going to see new job sites that they were bidding, so we've kind of always been in the business. I sort of man the administration zone, and my sister is in school right now for civil engineering, so she'll be coming back and taking over some of the actual construction responsibilities in the office.
We care very much about the safety of our employees and that they go home at the end of the day as safe and as healthy as they came every morning. It's one of the things that Jenny and I both feel very strongly about.
At ET&L Corp, we have our core values, which are safety, quality, hard work, teamwork, loyalty, and pride, which all incorporates what our family, our employees, mean to us and why we are such a strong, heavy construction company today.
We don't profess to be perfect. You know, nobody's perfect. But when you come to work here, especially if you've worked for others, I think you realize that we honestly do try, we care. We try to take care of our people when we can. You know, if we have a job that's 50 miles away from your house and we have one that's 5 miles away from your house, that impacts your life, you know, your personal life, how often you see your kids and how often you can get home, you know, to cut the grass or whatever. And I know we do it when we can, that we get people close to home. It has a bearing on the morale of the job and of the person's personal life and everything.
Probably the biggest challenge for us is that, you know, you take the bad stuff home at the end of the day when something doesn't go the way you want it to. So when you have good days, they're good days for both of you, and when you have bad days, they're bad days for both.
Dinner discussion does sometimes get overwhelmed by work talk, but at least, you know, we're having family dinner together and we're talking about something. Not a lot of families can say that. So I feel like my sister and I get to know our parents and our uncle better on a different level than a lot of kids do, certainly their parents.
And I am now pleased to present the 2011 Central Massachusetts Family Business Award to ET&L Corporation. Accepting the award on behalf of the company is its president, Jenny Lee Colosi.
Wow, that video was awesome. I tell you, Mark, you did a wonderful job. Thank you so much. It brought tears to my eyes. We're very proud to receive this award today, the Family Business Award. Gary, Jay, Francesca, and Laura Lee Balboni. We really want to thank our long-term, hardworking employees who, without them, we'd be nothing today. You can always replace a bulldozer or a loader, but you can't not replace a wonderful employee. You've probably seen us over our last 65 years. Many of the roads and bridges that you travel on each day, we've helped build and reconstruct. One of our major projects was the Sagamore Flyover project down at Cape Cod. We got rid of that nasty rotary so the traffic would flow a little bit better for all those traveling to Cape Cod. We work from the Cape out to the Berkshires. So our people, yes, they do travel many miles each day, and we appreciate that, and we thank their families and their spouses so much for the sacrifices that they make to make us one of the prime heavy and highway contractors in Massachusetts. I also want to mention my parents, Anthony, and my mother, Barbara. Without them, without their trust and confidence in us, we wouldn't be here today. So thank you so much.
Okay, next up we have Mayfield Plastics, which is a company on the move, both literally and figuratively. They made the move from Worcester to Sutton to accommodate growth, but they've also moved their business over time to take advantage of opportunities in the marketplace. Today, they serve a variety of medical firms producing plastic parts using a process called thermoforming. But no matter what changes have taken place, Ron Cross says they have stayed true to the company's founding principle, which is integrity. But let's hear direct from Ron and his father, Gordon. Cue the video.
Mayfield Plastics is a custom thermoformer, vacuum former, pressure former of specialty custom ordered products.
The majority of the customers that we deal with are in the medical industry. We do the outside housings of the medical carts. We take these expensive carts and we put the outside skins on them and make them look nice.
My father came down from Nova Scotia in 1905 or 06, learned his trade at the South Works of the American Steel and Wire Company. Started the business in 1917. The company grew, and during the war, my father actually had 38 pattern makers working for him. Mayfield was started in 1972. I started the business with my brother Stanley Jr. and myself and two other gentlemen that were in the vacuum forming business, Bob Wade and Ron Gollum. If you're talking about, as we did, expansion of the business and money, where is it coming from, and all the other type of things, why, that was made easy because we were all together, we all talked, we all knew each other's business. The difficult things are when you have things that you just plain don't agree on.
For me, it's the reward of trying to go and get people to be able to go and work together and come to one result.
Seeing the business thrive, knowing that you've got 20, 30, 40 people employed, giving them work, I mean, there's satisfaction in that. And making a buck too, let's not forget that. That's why we're all here. He would be amazed. When I first started Mayfield, why, he was leery of it. Because you had to go out, buy some expensive machinery, this and that. And he used to sometimes come to me and he said, "God, boy, I hope you know that you're going to make a buck on this stuff." You know, he was a very practical man, very tough guy with his troops, so to speak, but he was very fair.
The ability to be able to go and be honest. That's one thing that we've always prided ourselves in, is be honest, give the customer what they're looking for to the best of your ability. And one of the things to us that makes a difference is the fact that if you say you're going to do something, you do it.
So apparently it's that simple. Just be honest and make a buck, and you're good to go. I am pleased to present the 2011 Central Mass Family Business Award to Mayfield Plastics. Accepting the award on behalf of the company is its president, Ron Cross.
This is the first time that I saw that video. Came out very nice. I appreciate what everybody did to put this together. The one thing that I thought was kind of nice was the picture of my dad with the founding people that started Mayfield back in '72. I especially like the style of the time. Of course, I was a lot thinner and I had a beard, so my sons have the beards now, and I've gotten heavier. First off, on behalf of the family, I'd like to thank Worcester Business Journal for giving us the award. I'd like to thank our family who nurtures our business every day, our employees who enable us to serve our customers, and to our customers who trust us to provide them with quality products and services. I'd like to extend our thanks to the staff of the Worcester Business Journal, who created the Family Business Awards each year. You recognize small businesses as a true backbone of the economy in everything that you do. The judges who devoted their time and energy to wade through nominations to choose the small companies represented here today, and also the sponsors of the event, Bank of America. Sorry, guys. Wow, that was a blast from the past. Clark University, Shepard Goldstein Consulting Group, and radio stations WTAG and SRS. And I'd also like to congratulate the other family businesses that are going to receive the awards or have received their awards. The Cross family has been in Worcester as an area employer since 1917 and continues to thrive and grow today. We believe in the future in manufacturing and feel that in the coming years, manufacturing companies will contribute to the global economy. I'd also like to go and extend my thanks to my dad and also to my cousin Sandy. They work side by side with me day by day. And I'd also like to thank Harrison. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to invite Matthew Shiely back up to the stage, and he's going to take over some presentations.
Great, thank you. I don't know if I can talk anymore. This is very emotional. This is great stuff. One can only wonder what Leopold A. Rocheleau, or LA as he was known, would think about the company he helped found 80 years ago. Today, Fitchburg-based Rocheleau Tool Die, led by LA's grandchildren, and the company has tripled in its revenues under the leadership of its current president, Stephen Rocheleau. The family-run business specializes in building, designing, and manufacturing the complex machinery and equipment that produces all manner of hollow plastic containers. That's a lot to say in a sentence. And it has an impressive 8 family members working to keep the company going. Now, I spoke to the Rocheleaus, and it seems like it's more than just 8 people. But no doubt, their grandfather or great-grandfather would be proud. LA would be enormously proud of what they've done. So let's hear the story of Rocheleau Tool Die from some of the family members.
Primarily now, our primary business is manufacturing machinery for manufacturing plastic bottles, essentially. It's called blow molding machinery. Leopold Rocheleau started the company back in 1938 as a general machine shop. Leopold had 4 sons and 3 daughters, and the boys all worked here, and one of the daughters worked here.
Rocheleau Tool currently has 33 employees, 12 of whom are related. There are 7 of us in the 3rd generation ownership, and then there are 5 others who are either in the 4th generation or related outside of the direct family or work part-time during the summers.
Sometimes people think because it's a family business, it's easier for the family members. And I think sometimes it can be more of a challenge for the family members because more is expected of you.
A higher expectation.
Most of us started working in other places. Being a family member did not mean you had a job here. It was not an automatic. And if there was a position available and you had the skills that were necessary, then you would have the opportunity, but you had to come in and interview just like everybody else. And everyone, started in at the bottom floor. Stephen, who's the president now, started off sweeping floors here when he was a kid.
And I think what we got out of that is the ability to not just know the business from top to bottom, but also have a certain sense of humility as business owners to not think we're above a particular function. I think our employees, they know we're not asking them to really do anything that we're not willing to do ourselves.
During lunch breaks and coffee breaks, everybody sits in the break area together and talk about the weekends or what your kids are doing. And it's a real family atmosphere.
One of our goals is in trying to treat everyone that way is we provide 100% company paid premium of family medical, dental, disability, and life insurance. We do this because we understand how important families are. And out of our 33 employees, most of them are family units. So, what we do in our company as a family affects all the families of the people that work here.
There's a level of stewardship, I think, that comes with family ownership and family business that maybe is a little different than somebody going into a corporate environment. Maybe it sounds corny, but when you walk by your grandfather's picture and you look and you say there's a legacy that comes with that, there's a different level of accountability, I think, and you look at that and say, I want to succeed, I want to make him proud, I want to make each generation that was a predecessor or the subsequent generations to leave that legacy. So there's a stewardship involved with it, I think, that goes above and beyond a normal job.
My dad is extremely proud of where we've grown, how we've grown the business. When he retired 11 years ago, we had 17 employees, so we've doubled the number of employees, and our sales have tripled. So we have, taken what we had as a great foundation and, really ran with it, and we've created something that he's extremely proud. He comes back. He's in Florida for a good part of the year, but whenever he's back up in Massachusetts, he makes sure he's here at least a couple times a week. And Irene, my aunt, who was here for 49 years, she comes in every Tuesday and walks around the shop, makes sure we're keeping things the way that she feels we should. And she knows a lot about still what's going on. She always asks about how all the customers are doing. So, they're very proud of the way that we've continued to keep the company flourishing.
So, I am pleased to announce or present the 2011 Central Mass Family Business Award to Rocheleau Tool Die. Here to accept the award on behalf of its company is its president, Stephen Rocheleau.
Thank you everybody for being here tonight, and certainly thank you for the Worcester Business Journal, all the sponsors, and congratulations to all our co-honorees. It's certainly a blessing and an honor to accept this award the award on behalf of Rocheleau Tool and my partners, my brother Dan, and sisters Lisa and Kathy, and cousins Kevin and Jeff and Rob. My father, my aunt and uncles before me, and the fourth generation of kids behind us. And a special thanks certainly to our spouses. And, you know, they live with the ups and downs of everything we do every day, and the demanding part of our job. And without your support, we certainly couldn't get along as a family at work the way that we do. You know, we live in a great area in central Massachusetts, and sometimes on a rainy day, it's hard to imagine that, but it's, there's a lot of things that are good here, and I think Worcester Business Journal recognizes that, and all they do to recognize and honor the groups of people they do all throughout the year and the different kinds of awards that they present. And we have so many resources here, and certainly I think the greatest people in this country live in this area. And as a small company in a worldwide marketplace, we absolutely couldn't do what we do and be successful if we didn't have the people, the employees, the vendors, service providers, and customers that allow us to be successful with customers worldwide. And we certainly are thankful to be here where we're at. And manufacturing gets a black eye from time to time. And you know, whether it's in our plastics industry, there's a lot of good. And I think that we have to be advocates for ourselves sometimes in the industry and in the world around us. So. You know, we all have choices each day to wake up, God willing, and do what's important to us, and I'm sure that differs for each of us in what's important to us, but in our own way, you know, we need to make a difference for those that are around us. We feel a purpose and lead by serving, share the blessings that we've been given, and it's my honor to be able to do that each day with my family and all the people at Rocheleau Tool. Thank you.
For our next company, it took some convincing and arm twisting to convince Micah Chase to come on board and help lead the company that his father, Arthur Chase, built. But despite some hesitation, the arrangement has clearly worked out for the pair, and now Micah is bringing his own ideas and innovations to this invitation and stationery business known as Checkerboard Ltd. Those innovation and ideas include programs that encourage employees to read with their Read It and Reap It program. They actually pay employees to read books. It's nice. As well as efforts to add personal touches like handwritten notes to the thousands of invitation orders that get processed through the West Boylston business. And now, let's hear a little bit more about the company from the Chases themselves.
I left the business in 1984. I sold my interest at that point. I was involved in politics, but I always loved business at the same time. And I started the new company in 1990, and that was Checkerboard. Micah came in around the end of 1992. I was very busy in politics. I was a state senator at that point, and I'd made Micah an offer he couldn't refuse, and he refused. It took me a month before I convinced him he was the right person to come into the business
So I came back from California, and the situation was he was involved in politics. So typically in a family business, you've got somebody who's having a hard time letting go, the last generation, and the new generation saying, give me some space. It was just the opposite. So he left me here. He said, you make all the decisions. That was our deal. And then he would leave, and I would have huge things that I'd never seen before. So the dynamic was I was running after him saying, wait, don't leave yet. I have a question, which really created a good situation. So yes, complete freedom to do everything. In fact, it created the situation where I was begging him for information and really learned to respect his opinions.
And I think it's been the most wonderful relationship from beginning to end. There have been problems where there have been disagreements. When a deal was made with Micah when he came to the company, we put it down in the back of an envelope, you know, what the rules were going to be. He was going to be the boss. If he came in, the final decision was always going to be his. And we've honored that. Checkerboard is a manufacturer of fine social stationery. The biggest part of our business is printing wedding invitations. They're shipped all over the country, and they're now shipped in many parts of the world as well. The best order that I ever did, or the most prestigious order, was when I still owned Chase Paper Company. I printed all the inaugural invitations for Ronald Reagan.
You know, I get to work with my dad, but when I started here, my mother was working here, my father was working here. For a while, I convinced my sister to work here. My first cousin works here, my father-in-law worked here for a while, and I met my wife here. When you have your own business, it's your passion, it's your life, so I get to go home, keep talking about it, and she's okay with that, because it's her passion, too. I happen to like the size of this company. I've worked at big companies, I've worked at some smaller ones, but the size is great in that everybody gets to know what's going on. And in a family business, there's someone who really cares. So they're never stuck wondering, what do I do with something? It's open door policy all the way around. Now, I suppose that means they can go tell my dad on me. That could be a disadvantage. But for the most part, open door policy, everybody knows what's going on. In fact, at one point, we realized that about more than 50% of the population here is related to somebody else here. So they invite their family to work here. We encourage it. That's something you get in a family business that you don't get elsewhere.
That's up to Micah and his kids. You know, the purpose of a family business is not, or at least from my point of view, has not been to pass it along from generation to generation, but to use whatever we have in order to supply our kids with the opportunity to do what they want to do in life.
So I am pleased to present the 2011 Central Mass Family Business Award to Checkerboard Ltd. Accepting the award on behalf of the company is its president and CEO, Micah Chase.
You know, I think like many companies, we try to get as many awards as we can, and we compete for some design awards or printing awards. But I have to say, this is one of the most meaningful possible awards I could get. You know, I'm sure I'm not saying anything out of school here, but family businesses can be challenging. You know, it's like a marriage, except it's got the added complexity of it's intergenerational. You know, from the moment I was born, you try to learn how to manipulate your parents. You find their buttons, right? And I have to say, that's the man who installed the buttons on me. And we spend our days pushing those buttons. You know, family business, we're competitive. I think that's probably normal. My stepmother, my mother passed away, and my father remarried a fabulous woman, Elaine, who one of her first times she met me, we pulled out the tape measure to see which one of us had lost more weight, as an example. And another one is when we do win an award, or if I win an award, I'm very excited. We have kind of two walls. One is his award wall, one is my award wall. I get to put one up. I go in, kind of cocky, and he reaches behind him, pulls out another award, and hangs it up. He's a very accomplished person, so I'm screwed. In fact, last night, I'm proud to say he won an award, 8 out of 80 people who contributed a lot to Worcester, which I'm very proud of. So that's one more. You know, of family businesses, I was looking it up this morning, something like 10% succeed. So it's challenging. On the other side of that coin, when it's good, it's great. You know, I think if you ask an employee, and we bring in employees, you know, I get involved in their orientation, you can see the difference. They know there's ethics here. If there's an issue, where do I go? It's clear, the person is there. That's something you don't get in big companies. The customers, I think as customers ourselves, we probably gravitate towards family businesses. You know, somebody is responsible. And the mentoring, you know, from father to son, huge, right? Learned everything from my father. So that we are here getting this award means we have succeeded in this difficult navigation to some extent, and I'm really appreciative of that. Thank you.
I guess it's my turn to get emotional up here too. Wow, some nice stories that we've been seeing, and I think they're going to continue with a couple more stories that are coming up. The next awardee is Rotmans Furniture, or Rotmans. Nearly everything about Worcester's Rotman furniture is distinctive. From their recognizable building alongside Interstate 290, to their television commercials, to their commitment to the community. Rotmans isn't afraid of standing apart. The second generation of the Rotman family has led the store into a period of growth that extends beyond just furniture to everything you need to outfit a home, including a nice flat screen TV to watch the Sox play. But don't take my word for it. Let's hear from the Rotmans themselves.
When we first started, I did everything my husband didn't like to do. And he hated bookkeeping and anything like that. And so I became the bookkeeper, payroll and all that. In other words, I worked with him rather than for him.
Well, it was then in the 1960s, since the business was growing at such a rapid pace, that one brother, my brother Steve, came into the business. Later, my brother Barry came into the business, and I was sort of the last one. I was the holdout. I came into the business in 1980.
When we were all together, I tried to stay in the background. I never wanted them to feel that they had to report to their mother on everything that they're doing. So I kept a very low profile and let them be the public figures of the company. And I think they're doing very well. Yeah, yeah. Makes me very proud. Yeah. And they have a good reputation. That's important to me. Communication is always a challenge. But I think if you understand the qualities of each one, what they're good at, I think they can get along fine.
We've been fortunate here at Rotmans because each of the three owners has their own particular area of expertise and concern, and we're sort of in charge of our particular area, and then we meet to really talk about big picture ideas. So it is something that you have to be diligent about. I think you have to work at it.
Yeah.
But
You definitely have to work at it.
It's wonderful when you can have the best of both worlds. I think we've been quite successful at it.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Respect. Respect for each other, respect for talents and abilities, respect for your employees, your associates, respect for the consumer, to try to do the best possible job in the world of retail, which means to find the very best value, present it to your customers, treat them with respect, and then to also attempt to give back to the community, which has basically benefited you with their business. There is a feeling here at Rotmans that the associates, the employees are sort of extended family. But we know them, we know their families, and I think that's been one source of our strength. We had an opportunity about 20 years ago to do something which was quite unique, and that was to become involved in the fight against homelessness. And we developed what we call the Furniture Exchange Program with Central Mass Housing Alliance. And what we do basically is recycle our customers' old furniture. So they buy new furniture, we take their old furniture and recycle it, and it's been a great success story. This past year, 1,000 of Rotmans customers recycled their old furniture, benefiting 600 families in central New England. And we're very pleased with the success of that magnificent program.
I'd just like to point out that the Rotmans are also part of the Clark University family. There's at least 2, if not more, graduates from Clark University who have attended our university. So now I'm pleased to present the 2011 Central Mass Family Business Award to Rotmans Furniture and Carpet. Accepting the award on behalf of the company is its president, Bernie Rotman.
Thank you so much. As you'll tell in just a moment, my voice is a little bit under the weather. The good news for you is that I'm going to keep my remarks as brief as possible. On behalf of my brothers, Barry and Steve, and also my mother, Ida Robin, who's here today, and by the way, last week just celebrated her 98th birthday. I just want to tell you how much we appreciate this award, but it really doesn't go to me or my brothers, it really goes to my parents. It's a cliche, and you've heard it before, that really, in order to have a structure that's firm, that endures, you need to have a foundation that's firm and enduring, and that is what our parents have provided for us since they created the business back in the 1950s. To keep that foundation firm, they taught us, as I was mentioned in the video, be the best you possibly can, exceed your customers' expectations. You should also treat people with respect, most especially the consumer. Treat the consumer as an intelligent human being. Have great respect for your associates, your employees. And finally, care about the community. Give back to the community, whether it be United Way or whatever. All of us are involved in charitable actions. You know, we happen to have our particular social action program, which is our furniture exchange. Whatever it is, get involved, do what you can. When you care about the community cares about you. May we all continue to enjoy, all of us today, all the recipients of these awards, may we all continue to enjoy success in our chosen professions, and may we continue to be worthy of such high honors. Thank you all very much.
And now for our final recipient, the Oriol Healthcare. The Oriols take their business personally, and that's probably a big part of the reason why they have succeeded in growing the business. From one nursing home started by Bob and Dave's parents in 1965, the company has grown to include 3 facilities. But the brothers aren't content to stay in one place. They are still looking for opportunities to grow and even have plans to build a $12 million addition to their Holden site this summer. Now let's hear direct from the Orioles on their business philosophy.
Oriol means to the people who come here in the community that we're locally owned, and we have a vested interest in the people who we take care of in the community. We've been doing this since the mid-60s.
We're smaller. We can make decisions quicker. We can make decisions that are more local. And also, we have to live with our decisions. It's not, some company in the Midwest making a decision here and, and if it doesn't go well, so what? They're so removed from it and they'll just, sell the organization. We have to live with our decisions. Some of those decisions are nice to make. Some of them are very tough to make.
We feel we have a different responsibility than a lot of other long-term care facilities. I'm not beholden to, corporate headquarters out of state, to investor groups. I'm beholden to the families we serve. The buck literally stops with me. I can make any decision I need to make. The people know that. Bob and I get along very well. A unique challenge we have is we're twins. Being twins and leading the company, we have an echelon of middle managers and other executives under our leadership. The biggest scare these people probably have is having 2 bosses. So Bob and I have been very careful to craft a relationship so they're not getting different messages from my brother and myself.
I imagine if you were in a family situation where there was the older brother and the younger brother, there'd be a natural seniority or pecking order. Being a twin, well, there is none. So we're equals, financially and authority. So we share the burden equally. Sometimes we compartmentalize stuff where he might have a special area that he's more interested in and he's more gifted in, and vice versa. We'll make that distinction. But a family that did have like an older brother that would naturally be seen as the leader in the family, we don't have that.
We support a lot of local organizations. We've done things like building a new backstop for a Little League field. We've done a van for the senior center. We help sponsor an ambulance. We have exercise classes we put on throughout the area for the elderly. We support typical Little League and softball leagues.
This was something that was started by my father. So there is a satisfaction, a deep satisfaction comes by keeping something going on, a second generation. You count my grandparents' involvement, maybe a 3rd generation, even though my father was the original founder. But believe me, his father and his father-in-law were quite involved. And it's also satisfaction that this is going to go forward to the next generation. My brother's son Nathan is coming up the ranks and studying to be a nursing home administrator. And right now it looks like Dave and I will have someone that will take over when we are ready for retirement.
As we can see, by definition, they give back to the community with their organization. I'm pleased to present the 2011 Central Massachusetts Family Business Award to Oriol Healthcare. Accepting the award on behalf of the company is its president and CEO. No, I'm not sure if it is him or not. It could be his brother. I can't tell. Is Bob Oriol. Oh, both of them. They're both going to come? Good.
That was a wonderful video. I didn't recognize the company at first.
Gentlemen, gives you an award here, and we'll take a picture.
Thank you. It was wonderful watching all those videos. I remember Dave and I were 10 years old when we were going to Pine Acres to get those 25-cent candy grab bags, I guess, with the big fireballs. But it's really an honor to receive this award. And I like to say it's a lot of hard work by just Dave and I, but we have a whole organization behind us, the community, those who've come before us, our parents, and the people who were there at the facilities 20, 30, 40 years ago, so that we could be there today. I want to thank everybody, and this is a wonderful recognition of the hard work that everybody has done. Thank you.
Listening to all the presentations tonight, we can identify with a lot of the values of these companies. As Bob said, it started off when your first honoree, the Packard family out in the Pine Acres field, Pine Acres campground out in Oakham. And to the Rotmans, where every morning when I have my cup of coffee, I sit in the chairs we bought from them. The values are the same. Our dreams are the same. We're all local. It's all about family. It's all about giving back. And again, thank you to the Worcester Business Journal, and congratulations to everyone, and you too, Christina.
Now, how was that? Not bad, huh? What a great group of companies. Thank you so much. You know, part of my job up here is to make the trains run on time. We shoot for an hour. It's about an hour and 3 minutes. We did it. It's time to relax. I just want to give one more thank you to our presenting sponsors, Bank of America and Merril Lynch, and Clark University's Graduate School of Management, our supporting sponsors, ROCG, Shepherd and Goldstein Consulting Group, our media sponsors, TAG and SRS, and special thanks too, and this is, I think it was Mikey, you said it's, some of us look to do business with family businesses. Well, here we are. Thank you to the Frem family. Here we are at Cyprian Keys, so thanks to this great facility, run as a family business. Curry Printing, who knows Tom, Pete, and Joe Gardner. So we've involved as many family businesses as we could in this, in folks who provided services. Elevation Exhibits, Mark Serra Productions. Mark's the guy in the beard back there. Where are you, Mark? Stand up for just a second, the man who did the videos. There he is. Terrific job. Ron Boulay, who's got that flash working now, and Sprout Flowers. So thank you all for coming, and please enjoy reception. There's some nice food in the back, so relax, and thank you so much.